Abhishek Manu Singhvi. He is the fourth term sitting Member of Parliament, member of the Congress Working Committee, eminent jurist, senior national spokesperson of the Congress. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, my first question, what do you think are the three big takeaways from the budget today?
Well, I think a missed opportunity, all sound and fury and very little substance, and not using the budget itself as a tool of economic growth and acceleration and push. These are the three, I would say. And in a lighter vein, of course, I like the one which said that it's been like an ATM whose screen lights up when you press the button, but the cash doesn't come out. Okay. So I think the Honorable Finance Minister spoke for a long, long time, ninth budget speech. But the middle class and a lot of us heard only silence. So if you allow me to get to the specific 3 or 4 bullets, I'll tell you how.
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead. Then I'll ask you my next question.
Well, I think that, this is a somewhat tried and tested trick used in budgets. And let me start with that. In budgets, you project a very rosy picture in the future. In 1 year, next year, we'll do this in the revised estimate. We'll do that in the 2047. And we'll do this in the next 3 years. And this is the future policy. And some of it does partially fulfill, and we are happy reading it. But when there is an immediate disconnect with the past, then you start looking askance at this approach. Take, for example, capital expenditure. In the immediate years past, there is actually a reduction as a percentage of GDP on capital expenditure from 3.2 to 3.1%. In absolute terms, is huge. It's 1,44,000 crores cap X by the center cut. And yet, the picture for the future is very rosy. Highest ever. So, you start asking, look, in the immediate past, you had this. There is no connect. Take, for example, revenue expenditure. The cuts in supposedly vital sectors are very disheartening. Rural development gets a cut of 53,000 odd crores. Urban development gets 39,000 odd crores. Agriculture gets 6,900 crores. All cuts I'm talking about, not gets. Cuts of these. Education, I have the figures. I don't want to bore you with figures. Jal Jeevan Mission, your much touted, much spoken of mission, is cut by 67,000 crores. Now here, look at the catch. Look at the funny part of it, the ironical part of it. You actually cut it from there in the revised estimates down to 17,000. 67,000 crores to 17,000 crores, it's 50,000 crores cut. And then you immediately say that you raise it for the next year to 67,000 crores.
Okay.
What's the point? What's the point of saying that if you haven't done it in the immediate past? And I believe that your own economic survey raised very valid points. In particular, 2 of them. How do you increase gross fixed capital formation? How do you increase private investment, private sector investment? Now, it's no point saying we've given you all the things we want. Now you go ahead, private sector, and start doing something. The sad truth today is that the private sector investment is not boom starting. And lastly, Atmanirbhar is in many ways a very good thing, but our manufacturing sector is stuck, paralyzed at less than 13% growth, 12.8 to be precise. So it's the services sector which is keeping us booming. But, manufacturing needs another big electric shock. All of these 5 things the budget has failed to provide. Apart from, of course, MSMEs, apart from corporate mitras, which is a ease of filing, they've done nothing major for employment, and lakhs of MSMEs having been shut down.
But you also think that the MSMEs, the micro industries in our country at this point of time are the backbone, and therefore the budget allocation and the infrastructure and the research and development that has been allocated for this particular sector. Not to mention talking about the custom duty waivers that have been done in several industries, which also allows for foreign investment to come in, which also allows for prices to be cut down. And do you also think that when we talk about the semiconductor mission, when you talk about rare earth minerals corridors being built, when you talk about nuclear power imports where duties have been cut, how do you think this is going to impact the economy?
I have specifically in earlier programs supported and praised 2 of the 3 things you've said. A rare earth corridor, an attempt to reduce Chinese dependency, and I'm saying it in your program as well. A biopharma Shakti, the semiconductor mission, so-called 2.0, sunrise sector focus, blah, blah. These are good things. But that doesn't take away from fundamentals which I've talked about. On both MSMEs and manufacturing, this is disappointing. We have to jumpstart our economy as far as manufacturing is concerned. And also, uh, you know, uh, in terms of direct employment, we have not given anything which is tangible. We have said that all these things, all these, for example, and a lot of good things may have happened outside the budget. But this is the budget we're talking about. You can't answer the budget by saying poverty reduction has happened over the years. We've all been reducing. If I start citing you the poverty reduction because of UPA governments, that is not budgetary. Women's empowerment has happened. Nothing directly in budgetary terms. Government codes have been simplified. These are the answers I'm getting here and there, but these are not matters of the budget. You had to use the budget as a kick-starting device, which has not happened.
Okay. Also, do you also see the budget that has been announced is to address the global vagaries, particularly the tariff war that has been imposed across the globe, and India, of course, suffering from it as well?
I actually support, of course, we have, something like the EU is something, it's a product in making. It will take several years to work itself out. But I would support something like that. I would support the other trade deals. But this budget has done nothing about it. The EU or the other trade deals have been in the making for 10 years, and the other trade deals are also the making for many months. It's a good thing when it operationalizes. The budget actually may receive some benefit if and when it operationalizes. But by itself, I am still searching in the budget for what is the concrete kickstarting thing, apart from the few things which I said are supportive, I'm supporting. To talk about a tax holiday till 2047 for cloud data centers.
Yeah.
That is all right. That's a good thing. But then, just giving 24 new schemes, we have counted missions, funds, institutes, and committees. That is nothing to do with really a kickstarting of a budget. You just announce a scheme and you have to wait for the future. And next year, you will find the same disconnect with this year's announcement.
Do you think it will also be a healing touch to the exporters who have lost business because of the US tariffs? Because there has been a one-time ease of access that has been provided for the exporters who are part of the SEZ zone, and now they can sell their products domestically at the same prices, reduced prices.
Unfortunately, the only healing touch is an unintended and unplanned huge depreciation of the rupee. That's about the only healing touch exporters are looking for and have got. But that's not the government. That is not also very good for our importers. It's just one of those consequences where the rupee is now threatening to cross 100 after a few months. But concretely, yes, trade deals may help in the longer run. But we are talking of budget. Let's limit ourselves to a very narrow issue, which is the budget of 2026. I don't find anything doing that.
And finally, talking about artificial intelligence, there have been some announcements made in that regard as well. Talking also about the AI bubble, do you think it's real? Are our markets insulated? And how far along are we in fighting competition from America or China?
There are, somebody has calculated 11 mentions of AI in Madam Sitaraman's speech. So it's high on jumlas, high on slogans. Unless and until we do concrete research allocation for AI, cutting edge, forward looking, absolutely avant-garde, cutting edge investment, you cannot match the AI advancements of developed countries. I don't think we're anywhere near that. Yes, we have talked about it. We have made it a showpiece in our budget speech. Let's wait for the jury to come out on that.
And finally, the capex that has been increased to 12.2 lakh crore rupees, do you think that is going to help in sustaining the 7.2% GDP growth rate that is being estimated, that is being projected?
The projections of different sources and experts have actually varied from 6.5 to 7.2. But I would be very happy and proud if the 7.2 of the government's figure is achieved. But capex, again, I'd be very happy if what you say is true. But how does it gel with the immediate past year's figure I just gave you? The centre's capital expenditure is cut by 1,44,000. And I've got the breakup. 23,000 crores at the center and 1,19,000 at the state level. So it's actually, as a ratio of GDP, gone down from 3.2 to 3.1%. So what will happen in the future? It's in the womb of the future. It's a good move in terms of declaration of intent. But I'm finding a lot of these things are said And then the next year, when we look at the estimates, it comes down to a somewhat sorry figure.
Okay, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, thank you very much for joining me on Newsx and speaking about the budget. What do you think are going to be the implications of it? All right, coming back to my